Welcome to Wednesday night Satsang. Let us enter into this sacred experience together by moving into a time of prayer. Let's breathe together, deep cleansing breath, and release. Another deep breath, and let go, let go. Feel the presence of God enfolding you like a healing balm to any experiences you may be having of stress or feeling tired or stuck, frustrated. Feeling God's love enfolding you like a warm blanket on a cold night, bringing concern to peace, shifting fear into love, bringing calm, bringing light and understanding. God's presence loving you just as you are, right here and right now, in and through whatever you're experiencing in your life today. You're whole. You're made in the image and the likeness of the divine. We remember that truth together now, as we open our minds and hearts to the words, the message, the intuitive knowing that is coming through this experience just for each one of us this evening. We trust, we let go, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. Let's remember with gratitude all the good in our lives. I am so blessed. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed.
I am so
I am
blessed.
so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so grateful for all that God is. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And so it is. This next chant is a mantra for protection. Once again, remembering God's presence and bowing to our awareness of the presence of the divine within us as our light and our healing presence. Ad Gure Name. Ad Gure Name. To God Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad
Gure Name. To God Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name.
Ad Gure Name. To God Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. To God Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. To God Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. To God Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name.
And so as you gently now transition into a seated, comfortable, meditative position, allowing yourself to be supported with your back, sitting upright, straight, with your shoulders straight across and your arms just hanging directly from your shoulders, resting gently in your lap or beside you in some fashion. Allowing yourself to put your feet to the floor or resting comfortably. Taking a deep breath into your belly and relaxing and letting go. And just continuously allowing this breath to come in, hold, and release. And hold, and draw in, all the way in, all the way out. Just allow yourself now to exercise this beautiful in and hold and out and hold repetition, this pattern. If you notice that you are drawing more shallow breaths, stop and take another deep breath in, hold, and let yourself relax and let it out. Hold. And repeat this pattern throughout this time together. And as you breathe now, I invite you to adopting this pattern to allow your mind to do a little search throughout your physical being and notice what emotional state you find yourself in. Notice as an observer of yourself. Breathing in and breathing out. You notice discomfort of any kind. Something that you may label as negative thinking or a negative feeling of some sort. Perhaps fear or boredom, doubt, maybe a sense of restlessness, any kind of resistance, anything that comes into your mind as a thought or an urge or a desire or a shifting of position. Trying to let go of some tension. Breathe into that place and let it go, and then watch again to settle into place. Any sense of irritation. Whatever it is, carefully observe it and name it. What does it seem to be to you? Breathing. Notice how it begins. Notice what precedes it, perhaps. Is it a thought? A flash of a memory? What is it? Brings it to your focus again. Breathe and notice. Breathing, notice. Is it still there? Name it. Every time you breathe, notice. Name what you notice. Look it straight in the eye. Don't deviate. Don't move away. Watch. See. Feel. Breathe. Do you notice, is it changing? Becoming something else? Is it becoming more intense? Or more soft with your gaze? Is it trying to escape your gaze? Breathe. Stay present. Keep watching. Is it changing shape? Or staying right there, right with you? Feel it. Feel yourself growing larger than it. Encompass it. But don't change it. Allow it to be there. This discomfort, whatever you call it, whatever you have named it, breathe. Name it again. Watch. See it. Feel it. Notice if it becomes loud and strong or tapers off into a whisper. But don't let your gaze leave it. This is your companion here, your teacher. Breathe. What patterns of energy or tension are you noticing in your body now? As you keep your attention and your focus and your naming on this discomfort or state of boredom or irritation or resistance or restlessness, worry or anxiety, fear, anger even, frustration. Breathe it. Breathe in. Grow larger. Watch it. Name it. Know it. Allow your body, allow your heart to expand now and soften, growing larger and encompassing whatever this state is that you're naming, that you see, that you watch, that you notice now. Breathe. Soften. Receive it. Even the resistance, even the fear. Even the anger. Even the doubt. Breathe. You are greater than it. And you watch. And you see it. And you name it. Breathe. Watch. Notice. What is it doing? What is it becoming? Listen to it. What is it becoming? Breathe in and out, and keep watching and feeling and knowing and noticing. And as you watch, as you allow, let it move. Let it come or go. Let it change or stay. Let it be large or small. Let it tell you why it's here. Let it teach. Let yourself know. And breathe. And listen now. And allow yourself now to feel gratitude for this encounter. Breathing, noticing, naming, watching, receiving awareness and insight and blessing and love and take a breath and hold, let it go. And hold and breathe and gently return and smile and rest, and when you're ready, open your eyes and breathe and feel your gratitude and know you're blessed, and so it is. Amen.
As we return our awareness to this space, we feel gratitude for these opportunities to become more mindful, to bring ourselves into a greater awareness of our present experience. As we continue on a path with heart, one of the essential practices is a practice of generosity. As we practice generosity, we release clinging, we release attachment, we move into flow, we connect with our spiritual community, and we give in a way of furthering these teachings so that they can be available for us and for others as we continue to go forward on our path. So grateful for you and the way that you generously support our ministry. So inviting you now to take out your phone or go online on our website to the place where you can give to our ministry. And let's join together in opening our hearts and blessing our gift with our offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. And so it is. Amen. It's by thy grace that I see. It's by thy grace that I see. It's by thy grace that I see your holy name. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel your holy name. Someday the day shall come when all the glory shall be thine. People will say it is yours, and I shall deny, not mine. It's by thy grace that I see. It's by thy grace that I see. It's by thy grace that I see your holy name. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel your holy name. Someday the day shall come when all the glory shall be thine. People will say it is yours, and I shall deny, not mine. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Peace to all,
Beautiful. Whew. Such a beautiful chant and such a beautiful way to enter into this segment of our process of going through A Path with Heart, Jack Kornfield's book. Tonight we are naming the demons. This is probably the least favorite aspect of the practice that people have, but it is the real work. It is the most productive. It is the deepest, and it leads to healing. It leads to awareness, and it leads to more mastery and power. And you'll learn a little bit about that tonight. In his book, Jack Kornfield says, in ancient cultures that shamans learned that to name that which you feared was a practical way to begin to have power over it. True, if you can name the thing that you fear or to know what it is, you are 50% ahead of the game. If you think instead that it's bigger than you and that it's something outside of you and that it's something getting you and you have confusion around it, you really are victimized by it. But when you know what it is, even if you can't find a way to eliminate it or deal with it, still naming it, seeing it, taking a look at it and say, I see you, is power, and you begin to reclaim your power from it and begin to be able to transmute and transform yourself, because the whole thing is yourself, but to actually work with it in a productive way. He also says, the Christian desert fathers who practiced nearly 2,000 years ago in the deserts of Egypt and Syria called that thing that we don't want to name, that thing that shall be named, called them demons, that the demons seem to come. Not really because of little beings that, come and torture you, but the demons of our minds, with which we are all too familiar, I suspect. One of their masters, one of the desert fathers, the master of the desert fathers, Evagrius, left a Latin text of instructions for those who meditate in the wilderness. And he said, stay watchful of gluttony and desire, and the demons of irritation and fear as well. The noonday demon of laziness and sleep will come after lunch each day, and the demon of pride will sneak up only when you have vanquished all the other demons. And then pride will come up. Buddhist teachers include greed and fear in that list, doubt, judgment, confusion. Naming the difficulty or the pleasures of life, either way, naming them, is a first step in bringing awareness and watchful, conscious attention. The Buddha called the experiences and the distractions of life the illusions of them, the things that come and go. In other words, anything that comes and goes is illusory, it is temporary, it has no substance, and it has no lasting power. It has no real lasting truth to it. Truth, this kind of truth. It's factual, it's an experience, but the Buddha just named all of those kinds of things Mara and said, oh, I know you, Mara. I see you now. Yes? To see clearly, as soon as you see something, as soon as you can name it, you are standing outside of it. It no longer has you. You are no longer seeing through it as though this were the truth, as though this is fact, as though you are a victim of this new experience and condition that it's got you. you pull it off and you say, oh, fear, I know you. I see you. Fear. And now in this moment, I may have fear, but I am not fearful. I am not fear. I am not identified with it. I have fear. And as long as I can name it and see it, if I distract myself and look away, I might find myself in fear again. And I'll have to pull it back and name it again and see it. It is here where I have power. It is here that I have mastery. You see, the masters did not overcome and stop being fearful and stop being greedy or stop being gluttonous or bored or irritated or angry or any of the things that we all feel from time to time. They felt them too, but they didn't surrender to them. They saw them. They breathed into themselves and they remembered who they are and what this is. And they befriend it and they see it and watch it go through its dance and its tricks. It tries to draw you in, and then eventually it dissolves or changes shape or becomes another one, another demon, another one. Just like the demons in the desert, the Jesus temptations or the Buddha. But they're all the same. They have no power that you don't give it. And so the power is in naming and in seeing and staying focused and in breathing. Breathing is your strength. Recall a couple of weeks ago we talked about the breath being your power and how it grounds you and how it connects you and how it aligns you. It is your greatest tool, and it is ever at the ready for you to be using. The Buddha described the chief hindrances to awareness and clarity as grasping and anger, sleepiness and restlessness and doubt. Desire is also the thing, the demon that comes. Desire is actually itself not a demon. The desire has positive aspects, as it also has the negative ones. In the negative aspect are the one that we struggle with. A desire that shows up as grasping. In other words, when a positive aspect of our desire, of something good and something beautiful in our life, we grasp at it and we don't want it to end. We don't want to let it go. We want to figure out how we did it to get this experience and keep repeating it. We want to keep bringing this back. We don't want to let life happen and come through and roll through. And this thing, it's as if we conjured it up somehow and we're trying to figure out how to do it again. But we didn't do that. It arose and it receded, as do negative feelings and negative fears eventually recede. Grasping is holding on to objects or states of pleasure. Wanting is the other side of desire. If you don't have it, you long for this thing you know that will make all the difference in your life, and you long for it. The positive aspects of desire are desiring well-being for others. That's a good thing to keep conjuring up and choosing to feel. Desire for awakening means discipline and repetition. Creative desires that express the positive aspects of passion and beauty. All of the things that we do when we create something from a passion within us. The painful aspects of desire, however, are things like addiction and greed, blind ambition, or unending inner hunger, where we can never be satiated, where our hunger is never satisfied. No matter how much we have, still more we want. That is the negative side of allowing this desire to take over. So being able to see when it's used in a positive, powerful way, in a way we can stay attuned to that and notice and call it by its name so that we can choose how to use this desire of the heart, distinguish the passion of the heart versus the passion of ego. William Blake said, "Those who enter the gates of heaven, freedom, are not beings who have no passions or who have cured passions, but those who have cultivated an understanding of them. They are masters." And what William Blake says is that it's then that you can live in an equilibrium, in a place of ongoing, recurring peace and equanimity. Cornfield says, in this idea of wanting, of longing, this is how it shows up in us. If I only had some more, that would make me happy. Do you know that? Fill in the blank. If I only had some more of that, then I'd be happy all the time. Then I'd be happy again. Some other relationship, perhaps, or some other job, maybe, or some more comfortable sitting cushion for my meditation, or less noise, or cooler temperatures, or warmer temperatures, more money, a little more sleep last night, all of these things, big, small, little, then I would be fulfilled. We tell ourselves this story and we go in pursuit. It's in the back of our heads most of the time. We're not frontal lobe conjuring this up. We're holding it in the back of our heads. If we pay attention, if we stay alert, if we stay awake, and we name it, we see it. I see you, Mara. For the voice of wanting what is here is never enough, Jack Cornfield said. But the voice of wanting is only satisfied when it has carried you away with it. Like a child, it wants your attention all to itself, and it keeps showing you yet another shiny object, another thing that would make it better, another thing you could have. Remember yesterday, you had this and it was great. Don't you want it again? You know? Anything to keep you distracted, then it wins. Problems to be solved drive us. Our most excellent mind is conditioned to solving problems. But there really are no problems. There are only states and conditions and experience. It is judging makes it so. It is naming makes it so. Your power to name, your power to open to seeing what is, using it, and navigating it. Oscar Wilde said, "I can resist anything but temptation." Jack Cornfield said, "Do not confuse desire with pleasure. Given the many difficulties we face in life, enjoyment is wonderful to have. We are taught in the culture that if we can grasp enough pleasurable experiences quickly, one after another, our life will be happy. By following a good game of tennis with a delicious dinner, a fine movie, follow that, then wonderful sex and sleep, a good morning breakfast, a fine hour of meditation, and off to an excellent morning of work, happiness will last." That's what we think. One thing after another. Perfect. Did you hear all the judgments in all of those things? The judgments that we have make it a good day or not a good day, a happy experience or not or a boring, or a so-so, or a meh, right? This is our judgment. This is our reaction. We have power over that. But life continues to come. It comes. It comes relentlessly. It comes, one experience, event, and series of emotions and reactions follow. Thoughts, experience, interactions. Those are the places where we can find our footing and keep our eyes open and keep saying, I see you, Mara. I see you. George Bernard Shaw said, there are two great disappointments in life, not getting what you want and getting it. Because it doesn't feed you. It's just a passing experience. The question to ask is, what is under the wanting? That's the true thing that wants to be led into the light of your awareness, seeking to be known and included. When you can know what is it that you really want, and then heal. Every destination of a healing journey is the same. The destination of every healing journey is love. It is some form of love. It is love in some form. When you know the destination you're headed, you can skip the journey to get there. You can go straight to the love. You can choose love. You can choose love before you know how this is all working out. You can love the thing, the feeling, the experience. You can love the sticky, the irritating, the restless, the bored, the fear-provoking, the angry part of yourselves. You can embrace them. You can grow larger. If you name them, you're outside of it, you're bigger, you hold it, you love it, and you transform it. And you get the gift of it, and it teaches, and it speaks, and you say, I know myself. Not Mara any longer. It's me. I put it back where it belongs, as the gift it is. I no longer want it separate. I want this power. I want this wisdom. I want this healing. I want this to make me larger than I was. Jack Kornfield says, understanding, freedom, and joy are the treasures that naming the demon of desire brings us. We discover that underneath unskilled desire is a deep spiritual longing for beauty, for abundance, and completeness. This is the transformation. This is the way we move. We're going to go through a series of other different negative, as we say in Unity, negative emotions. All emotions, all these are valid experiences. It's part of the human experience. But they're uncomfortable, and we don't like the results they produce. And so sometimes we want to separate them out. But it is so key and important to our growth and our balance that we accept them and that we see them for what they are, not act out of them. I don't mean that. I don't mean that it's okay to act out our anger or act out our fear in outside ways. It's important to know what they are. It's important to separate our perspective and to see them for what they are, but not to give them free rein, to maintain our power, to draw our power from them, and now name them, and now learn from them, listen, love, look underneath. What is it I really want here? What is really going on? What am I really afraid of? What do I really want? And in that, begin to find a way to give that, to heal it, and to bring in the light of my awareness, transmuted energy that becomes the gift. And it'll come up again, and it'll come up again in different things, in different ways, in different places we've buried throughout our lives, a part of ourselves, a part of our soul, a part of our beauty, and a part of our uniqueness that got buried with an event or a hurt or a trauma or a loss or a fear or something that we didn't know what to do with or how to handle, and so we buried it, and a part of us went with it. And as we allow these to come to the surface and we unwrap them, they become a part of the beautiful diamond selves of our own soul. And our soul becomes larger and greater, and our heart becomes fuller and more compassionate. And we suddenly understand human nature and make space for it. And not try to change it so much, but to accept it. Anger, the demon of anger and aversion, has many faces and guises and can be found in forms. And it can look like fear and boredom and ill will and judgment and criticism and frustration and irritation. But anger shows precisely where we're stuck, where our limits are, where we cling to beliefs and fears. The strength of the anger reveals the amount of our attachments. And the use of anger. Anger arises as a power to hold a boundary or to correct a wrong. That's important. It's not always bad, negative, as we sometimes think of it. We don't act it out. We don't harm or hurt ourselves or others. But we use it to say, that's enough. I'm not having that. This is that's as close as it can come to me. That isn't going to happen again. I say no to that. This is important for us to draw the place where we stand and to use our power. Releasing the energy of the anger and embracing our power to use or to give voice or to take action for what is ours to do, whatever that is. Cornfield says, remember, meditation is not a process of getting rid of something, but one of opening and understanding. That's why sitting with it in the meditation we just did, watch, feel, breathe, name it, stay with it. It doesn't matter what it is, how obnoxious it is, how much you don't want it, how you want it to go away, how you want to be rid of it, how you don't even want to admit you feel it or you have it. The more you notice that rejection and that aversion, the more powerful it is to pull your power out of it and to begin to embrace it and to grow larger than it and to see it and to hold it and to transmute it. Meditation is for opening and understanding. Fear, experiencing the energy of fear as it moves through us. The whole sense of fear will shift, and later will come the recognition. Oh, fear. Oh, that's what's making my breathing shallow. I feel fear. Oh, fear. Here you are again. How interesting. It's just fear. Nobody died of fear. It's just a feeling. So little of our lives really need to be feared to protect us. And so much of the time it's simply old programming. It conjures up threat of loss or damage that brings it up in us. Breathe. Notice. Breathe. Name. Breathe. Watch it. Breathe. Boredom. Thoughts of boredom or looking for distractions. Put down your phone. No, put down your phone. Are you bored? Put down your phone. It's a form of avoidance. This demon has got us sometimes by our knuckles all the time, doesn't it? Use this demon to focus on your breath and sitting up straighter and moving shoulders and breathing deeply. If you're in meditation and you're distracted and you suddenly want to grab your phone just for a second and see what the weather's going to be. After all, you needed to check that. You need to see if that email came through. You need to see if that text had happened. Do you need to see, has the news broke on that issue yet? Whatever it is. Notice the boredom. Don't let it get away. Get interested in it. What does it change into? What is it here to tell you? Judgment. Judgment is also a demon. We use it, we need it, we need to be able to distinguish one thing from another, to discern in our lives. It's a power that we use, but we often misuse it. And we judge and we criticize. Judgment can bring wisdom and awareness, but it can also bring pain and what do you call it? Cutting ourselves off, of cutting a part of us off as not being good enough, unworthy. We want to hide that part. We only want to show this part. Judgment, self-judgment. When I was in ministerial school, I went through a meditation similar to the one I led you through just a bit, of noticing something and whatever it was that was coming up. And for me, in this, judgment was the thing that I was working on, that I was aware of, that was really torturing me, that self-critical judgment in me. And I was told to imagine what it looked like, and immediately what sprang to mind was this real sharp-faced, severe woman with her hair pulled tightly back all the way off of her face. And she had a hard, thin body, and she was straight. And she was like without humor, without compassion, without warmth at all. Steely eyes, pursed lips, could say nothing, just looked and just judged. And I felt that's what it felt like on the inside of me. And the instruction was to keep watching and to keep watching and to try to understand, what is she trying to do for me? What does she want? Notice, looking into her eyes, and don't turn away. Keep looking. And then suddenly, I understood where she was coming from. Her innocent, unskilled effort to keep me safe. She was judging me, trying to make me perfect. She was my perfectionism in action. She was trying to help me be perfect, so nothing would get me, so nothing would shake me, that nothing would destroy me, that I would be worthy. That's all she was trying to do. She was trying to love me with this unskilled, twisted way. And as I began to embrace her and to love her and to appreciate her, suddenly I sent love to her, and she began to change. And she changed into a free spirit. Her collar on her blouse suddenly opened and buttons opened, and it was a denim shirt. And she had the sleeves, and the sleeves were rolled up now. And she was filling out. She wasn't thin anymore. She was more voluptuous, and her skin was tanned, and she had turquoise and silver jewelry, and her hair flowed, wasn't tied back any longer, and it had gray streaks in it of wisdom, and her eyes lit up, and she had a smile on her face, and she was beautiful. And I felt my love for her, and she was freed from needing to be the taskmistress, that her love could be given back to me in a really powerful way, in the way it was meant to, in a way of just loving me as I am. And her gaze then reached across the open field and the open sky, and we stood shoulder to shoulder and looked out at all the possibilities. That's what love can do. Because all along, she was just trying to love me. Restlessness, doubt, sleepiness are more of these things where we sit with them, where we meditate with them. Don't turn away from them. Don't let them take your attention or your focus. Ask them why they're here. What is it they want you to know? What are you trying to do for me? In a not helpful way, but what are you trying to do? What's underneath? Where is the love? Because love is always the answer. It's always the destiny. It's always the destination. Bring it to the bring it up and feel it, and then take your cues from it. Embrace and love. Even this. And every time it shows up, again and again and again, you love it. Cornfield says, as we work with these demons, they will enrich our lives. They have been called manure for enlightenment, or mind weeds, which we pull up or put near a plant, bury it to give it nourishment. To practice is to use all that arises within us for the growth of understanding, compassion, and freedom. Thomas Merton says, true love and prayer are learned in the hour when love becomes impossible and the heart has turned to stone. That's when the real love and prayer begin. Try it. Practice it. Name that demon and make it your friend. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. So many demons that are lurking in our consciousness, right? That was right. I was thinking about that perfect day that Jack Cornfield described and just how everything unfolded and the judgment that you said that was around that, and the practice of the awareness of impermanence, right? Non-attachment. And how do you be with joy and a positive experience without the awareness that when's the other shoe going to drop? When's this going to change, knowing that everything changes? And I kind of wondered about your thoughts around that.
Oh, you mean when something great happens, mm-hmm. and we want, and you're saying that while you're in the experience of it, you're already anticipating its demise, right? Yes. It's going away, right? I would say that is actually, that sounds like something that I learned in my 12-step experience. I've got codependency and an adult child of alcoholic, and so that sense of impermanence, or how long can this last, especially that other shoe dropping, it's like that becomes a self-protecting way of not trusting that this is going to stay or come back, or this sense that somehow I've made this happen. That's another thing in my experience of that dysfunctional situation where I had to control everything. See, it was really my illusion of control, that somehow I made this happen, so I want to keep getting that magic recipe and keep making this happen. So I would say that if we find ourselves drifting there, I would love that child that's asking that question. If you notice that that's what you're thinking, or if you notice you're already withdrawing, because you're withdrawing out of the joy. If you're worried and you're already withdrawing out of the joy, but you're missing the opportunity of life. So in order not to do that, you go throw yourself back in and just stay here and just bring that child with you and say, I'll take you with me. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, don't ask. We're going to have fun. Look at this. Breathe it, enjoy it, right? And so practicing it. Maybe this time it'll be broken up by a few more wondering, but with practice, soon you will just give yourself over and take it as long as it lasts. And then you'll let go of it and you'll accommodate it, and you'll be surprised at how many golden moments there are in life that are not superlatives. Do you know what I mean? They don't have to be superlatives to be golden and perfect and beautiful and nourishing. So I think that's our illusion, that somehow they have to be the best breakfast, the fastest car, the most beautiful partner, I didn't make a single mistake in that. That was perfect, But every single experience is golden. It brings milk and honey and juice,
I love how he shares about inviting your demons to tea, and that one thing that really serves me with that and looking at all these demons is recognizing that I can be present to what they have to say to me, but I'm the decider. So I get to decide what's true and what I'm going to take and act on. And I love how you brought it all around at the end to love and to incorporating and using love to transform those demons and bring them alongside the visual of what you shared in your ministerial school experiences was really insightful for me to see how to incorporate that practice. So thank you, Karen.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. It was amazing to me. And it doesn't mean that I still don't suffer from, self-incrimination and judgment or whatever, but I know what it is, and I know what it is, and I know it's fallacy, and I just have to I'm not a master yet. I still have it, and then I let it get to me, but I climb out of it quicker and quicker, like we do. We practice. Life is practice.
Right. Love and acceptance. Those were the clear, abiding messages that I heard in everything you were saying. A bit about acceptance. Our demons come up, and I really appreciated the amount of time you lingered on judgment as a demon. Because when our demons come up, fear, boredom, yada, 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 but the fact that we even label them as a demon is laced in judgment. So to be able to allow those qualities, those circumstances, those characteristics, character defects even, to be front and center, and to be willing to learn from them without judgment is almost an oxymoron. And I would even argue impossible without love.
There you go. That's right.
And so you rang that bell a lot in what you shared. And it reminds me of something a mentor of mine said many years ago. I don't think she originated it, but it is that fear and love can't occupy the same place. And so that if you're feeling fear, then literally just, what of this circumstance is requesting love, and give it. And just pour it out. And it's not like you got to decide to do that. It's not like you got to ramp up to it. It's the moment you notice it, it's done. And to not do that is you're giving yourself permission to indulge in whatever it is, self-pity, some practice of separating yourself from God. And so what you said about getting to it faster, I want to think at this point in my life that the moment I'm aware that a demon is running me, the moment I'm aware of it, then I can bring it out in front of me, name it, using tonight's metaphor, but just sort of recognize it and say, oh, hey, I see you. And that act in and of itself liberates its power, because it's like, I see you, I love you, and you have no place here. Demon, get behind.
That's right. That's right.
Then I can move through it faster, like you said.
Or if you have time, what you can do with it is ask it why it's here.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not a happenstance. It's not a burp. It's come from something, right? And so, it will always be a teacher. It will always be bringing a piece of information. What is it from, a Christmas story? It's not a Christmas story. What is it? the three ghosts that come. Christmas Carol. That's it. Or he says a bit of undigested cheese. You know, he says that it is still something that's working, and there's still something attached to it. No matter how many times we've done it, we did it. We did do those things. We did get the gift, and here's the next one. Here's another refining. Here's another piece of information. Here's more to digest, and to do it in the light of day and with the light of your concentration. And I do what you do too. You know, I just, for the moment, you know, we'll just get past it and just go, oh, I see. I don't need to act from that. I just set it over here. But I could benefit if I spend a little time with it later and just go, what is that? And what's underneath it? And what gift is it trying to bring me? It's a twisted message in a way, but it's coming out of love. It really, at its very base, It's love. And so it's trying to love me, and it's just messing things up. But it's trying real hard, you know? And so I want to love that innocence, you know? And I want to incorporate it. And I want the gift it's trying to give me. I want to be bigger, you know?
We could go on, but
I know.
We need to stop.
Well, this is the stuff of life. This is the stuff of healing, actually.
Yes. We've had so much rich spiritual food tonight. One of the ways that we expand ourselves and experience getting bigger is through prayer.
Yeah.
As we take all of this, turn it over to God, center into our awareness, once again, of the presence of love within us. We open to what is present, what is speaking, that is wanting healing, whether it is within us, external circumstances, or the interconnection of both as we seek harmony, peace, and understanding in our lives, in the world. So let us bring to mind those people, circumstances, conditions that we would like to offer up in prayer, that we would like to shift our awareness, transform those situations with love within us, see them transformed in the world. So inviting you now in the space where you are to speak those names aloud in this sacred space. As our love goes forward through the power of prayer, we feel our connection with these beloveds of God and our beloved experience of this world. We're so blessed to be here now, yes, in and through all that we're experiencing, to have the opportunity to grow through it, to learn through it, to give our gifts to the world. We release these prayers and we trust in the presence of love going forward and doing the healing work. And for this, we say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. We want to invite you onto our campus this Saturday. We are seeking a large team of volunteers to transform all that died in the Arctic blast a couple of weeks ago that is brown and withered and straw-like to radiant spring beauty. And so you get to come join us, have some breakfast tacos, bring your gardening gloves and tools if you have them, and you can register on our website and be there between 8 and 12 on Saturday. So you'll still have the rest of your day for fun, and this will be a fun way to connect with us and add some life to our campus in the form of beautiful flowers and nature. This Sunday, we are springing forward, so set your clock ahead 1 hour this Saturday night and plan to be with us at the usual time, which will feel like an hour earlier. So we will love ourselves through that as we spring forward and adjust to the change in time. Reverend Michael will be sharing with us the Great Unfolding, part 2 of the Great Undoing, the Great Undoing and the Great Unfolding. So you will want to join us for that as we join in person once again. We would love to have you with us if you're in the Houston area, or hey, you might still have time to buy a ticket and fly down and join us in person if you like. You can RSVP on our website. We do need you to RSVP in advance because there is limited seating. We will continue with our live stream as well, and we will be honoring safety protocol, mask screening, physical distancing. So just know that we have this all well planned and thought out for your safety, and we would love to have you in our physical space with us. So hope you can join us then. At 9:45, we will have our Spanish language service, El Gran Descubrimiento del Yo Soy, with Giovanna Specht, and that will be live streamed on our Unity of Houston and Espanol Facebook. After the service, after the 11 o'clock service, we are having our outdoor burning bowl ceremony. So we had to postpone our burning bowl from New Year's Eve, and we are doing it this Sunday at 12:30 outside. Bring your release paper, anything that you want to let go into the sacred, prayed up flames of our chimenea that will be outdoors. There is predicted to be some weather, some storms on Sunday. We will be in the covered drive-through outside, so you can still know we'll be doing it, and you don't need to RSVP for that. Masks are required, and we will be honoring social distancing as well. Next Wednesday night, we'll be continuing A Path with Heart, and I will be sharing my message on opening up our stuck places. So we named our demons, now we're going to open up some stuck places. So come back next Wednesday for that. Easter Sunday is coming up soon, and we are seeking a team of loving volunteers to welcome our community that will be joining us in person into our sanctuary. There will be training provided for ushers, greeters, safety screeners. Please contact our Sacred Service Director, Cindy Klein, at her email address, cklein@unityhouston.org. Reverend Karen, pray us out.
All right, so we're going to follow our metta practice and invite you to read these words with us as we speak them together. By the power of this practice, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they know the sacred joy that arises in the space beyond suffering. May they rest in equanimity that knows no grasping or hatred. May they experience the equality of all beings. May my practice be of benefit to all. Namaste.
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 Namaste. Go shine your light into the world. Namaste. Namaste. I bow to you. Namaste. 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 Go shine your light